So now we're going to have a little fun by creating an object that you can move with arrow keys that will interact with these particles here. So this will be a little different. Go to GameObject, 2D object, sprite. And it doesn't really matter what you choose. How about a circle? So you can see it comes up as a white circle. It's a two-dimensional object, so it's not a sphere. We want to change the sprite to a flame. Click your Project tab. If you need to, click Assets here on the left and go to Images, and I did put a flame in there for you. So go back to the circle on the hierarchy and go ahead and drag the flame over to where it says circle, and now it's a flame. It's beautiful. Go to the hierarchy and rename it so it's not circle. How about Flame Sprite? So it is a two-dimensional object, but it can interact with three-dimensional objects if we give it the right components. So here on the right, add component, physics, rigid body, take off gravity as usual. Also add component a sphere collider so it can collide with the other spheres. So highlight the Flame Sprite and go to Scene View. Go to Scene View and you'll be able to see this collider as this green circle. Okay, now let's attach to it. So again, add component to Flame Sprite. Script that's already been written. It's the Pac-Man movement script. And you see there's a variable for speed. Make that 8. Okay. Go back to your game and press play. And now you may have to click your mouse in this middle, but you should be able to use arrow keys to move the flame. And you see it does have a collider, so it can push around these others, kind of like Pong. Boom. So you could do a couple things here that would be maybe fun. This is the one I want you to try to script, is if the flame hits the diatomic, then the diatomic gets split. So energy breaking the bond would be fun to do. You'll notice that that diatomic spun in an interesting way after colliding with the flame, and it went through the walls. So you'll want to do this to make that, to disable that. So first, unclick the play button. So there are highlight sphere and sphere 1. Go over to rigid body. And there's this constraints. It may be minimized. If so, expand it. So the Z position, you want to check that. So these spheres cannot get out of the Z plane. Otherwise, they can go past the walls. If they're at Z minus 12, for example, they'll go past the walls. So let's then do the same for the diatomic prefab. So go to your assets folder, find your prefabs, and diatomic. You can see that you can also freeze the Z position of the diatomic. So now they shouldn't escape the playing field. Okay, I'm steering with arrow keys. Boom. I can try to make them react. I can try to help them along. Ooh. Come on, you. Get over there. Oop, missed. Boom. A key should still work to speed them up. A key. Ooh, that was interesting. This collider must not be bouncy. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, so now there is the diatomic. And what I want you to try to script is if the flame collides with diatomic, the bond should be broken. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. We've got rotation in the 3 dimensions now. One last thing. I think will make it work better. This is the Flame Sprite. Has a sphere collider, but it doesn't have a bouncy material here. So click the circle with the dot. Change it to bounce 1.0. Highlight sphere and sphere 1. Similarly there, sphere colliders are not bouncy. Same thing, circle with the dot, bounce 1.0. Now it'll work better.